Hi, welcome to Bergen, Norway, the city where, according to Oslo, Norway citizens, it rains every day. Yeah. So this is a typical super rainy day here in Bergen. Anyway, today I thought I'd show you how to replace an old torch wick on a juggling torch. My torches are Renegade. I think this method works for almost every kind of juggling torch that I've seen. When the torch is originally made, it has staples like these that hold the gasket. The gasket is a metal piece that covers the wooden dowel that goes through the middle of the torch. These staples are holding the wick onto the torch. When you replace it, you're going to use drywall screws like this. Make sure they're not any longer than this, because they've got to go through the wick and into the dowel, but not further, not out the other end. The top of the screw should be flat. I use a Phillips head kind. You can use either kind, but it's easier to find the Phillips head. So that way when it sinks into the torch, it will be flat and flush like that. You need 2 per torch, so if you have a set like I do of 5 torches, you'll need 10 of these screws. I always get a couple extra because sometimes you bend or break a screw in the process. The new wick is sold if you have a friendly wick dealer. They're not on the street corners. We got these at Standard in Oslo, but you can get them at juggling conventions or any juggling supply store. It's usually about half a meter for each torch that you're going to replace the wick on. When your old wicks need replacing, you'll know. Have a look at how beat up that is. See how this part doesn't even wrap all the way around the torch anymore. It's frayed. It's coming off in my hand. So we're going to first show you how we take the old wick off. That's not how. I just want you to see. Notice how the wick and I are both having a bad hair day. Anyway, so we'll just move indoors so I can plug in the drill and show you how to fix the wick. The old wick will leave a lot of dirt or dust wherever you take it off. So put a little newspaper down on the table or surface where you're going to work. You'll need a drill. At least I don't think it's really possible to do this fully with a regular screwdriver. You need something with power in it to grind the new screws through the gasket, the metal gasket that you have to go through to get into the wick itself. I mean, into the dowel itself. What's cool about that is that means that in addition to going forward and screwing the screw into, you can switch it and use this to take the screw out. I'm going to get a close-up on this. Hold the wick, the torch and the wick really still. I usually prop it against my leg and the table. Then just find the end of the old screw there. And first start really slow, really gentle. And when you get the old screw out most of the way, take it out with your hand. Sometimes you won't be able to use the old screw again because it'll be bent from when you put it in or when you took it out. This one's okay. I think I could probably use that again. But this is not the drywall screw. This is the only screw I had last year in England when I got these at the British Juggling Convention in Nottingham. So the drywall screws are better if you can get them with the flat top. And also have a look at how that screw has more space between the threads and this one less. This is going to be easier to bite through the wick and sink itself into the dowel without tearing up the wood or the metal. Okay, so now we have another one to take out. Slow at first. That should do it. Yeah. Oh, that one broke off in the... That happens sometimes. Since I never drop my torches, I'm amazed that anything like that ever happened. You'll see... Take the old wick off carefully when you get down to the base there. And since this is broken, I'm just going to ignore it, because once the new wick is on top, that will be covered up with wick. It's not a problem. You might see how the top of the gasket is starting to split. Wherever the torch gets hit on the ground, each time you replace the wicks, your torch is going to get a tiny bit shorter, because a little bit of the wooden dowel at the top is going to burn while you use the torches over a year. I usually do my wicks every year. And I recommend that you take this old stuff that's getting jagged and just bend it a little back and forth until you can get off the last most jagged part on the edge here. Once that's off, just be careful not to cut yourself on it. Then if you have a screw like that that's sticking out one end, you can just take some concrete, let's flatten it down a little bit like that. And also, you'll see there's an old staple coming out the top of the torch. You don't want old staples coming out the top of your torches, because if they pass close to your skin, they will, while the torch is really hot, they will grab on your skin and either tear it or sink into your skin. That's happened to me once. So you want to take any jagged pieces of metal off the top there, and then what I usually do is just try to flatten down the any old jagged parts. Before we wrap a new wick around this, we want it to be mainly smooth and flush. Concrete's good because concrete doesn't give when you don't want to hit it on anything nice, but rock or concrete is good. So yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah. Over the time you're using your torches, there'll be a thick layer of dirt that accumulates all over this part and this metal gasket here. I think it's good to rinse that off a little. You won't get all of it off, but there's so much ash and dirt there that while you've got the wick off, you might as well take a little scrubber and just get as much of the outside dirt off your torch as you can. I don't recommend pathologically cleaning your torches, because they're always going to get dirty after even one use. But to take a little of the outside dirt off while you're rewicking it is good, so that they don't leave as much ash all over everything else you carry around with your juggling stuff.